everyone, my name is Laura and this is my channel Laura's Little Library, and welcome to today's vlog, which is the Ghost Stories vlog. This is Monday morning-ish of Ghost Week. I just finished filming the wrap-up for my witchy vlog last week, which you should totally check out if you haven't already. But yes, I'm excited for this week. So the group book for the Ghost Week is The Seance Tea Party by Raymina Yee. I figured this would be a good one for Ghost Week because it adds variety in terms of it's a graphic novel. For people who aren't super into dark spooky books, then there's at least this group book that could be a little lighter for them. Also, if people are just joining the spooky spectacular, this is a really good book to read very quickly to kind of gain points on. If you are, like I said, if you're new, this would very easily get you into the trick-or-treater tier and hopefully get you started building up more points to get into higher tiers. If you are new to the readathon, I will have the announcement video in the description of this video so that you can know what's going on, and while you're down there you should just subscribe. Maybe. So I'm very excited. I'm gonna read this one at some point today, and then after that I am hoping to read Tunnel of Bones by Victoria Schwab. I read the first book in this series last year when I first started it. I called it the Spooky Season Extravaganza, and it was just kind of a me thing, and now this year it's a whole other thing. So I'm excited to continue on with the series. I think I'm going to read through this pretty quickly. I'm kind of hoping that I can read both of these books today because this is middle grade and I read the first book pretty quickly and it's just not very long. And this is a graphic novel. So those are my reading goals for today, and then I have two other ghosty books that I might try and get to this week. So I have a book called The Dead Romantics. This is by Ashley Poston. This I thought looked really interesting. It's about a writer and she loses her father, which is very sad, and then she ends up getting this new editor who might be a ghost or something like that. I'm not quite sure, but she all of a sudden starts seeing ghosts, and her writing career hopefully is no longer writing due to these ghosts. So I am intrigued about this one, and I like the bright cover even though it is kind of a spooky book. And then the final book that I might pick up this week, I'm saving it for last because it's the longest book and the one that I'm kind of least motivated. It's The Awakening by Kelly Armstrong. So this is the second book in a trilogy. The trilogy was released a long time ago, like it's quite a bit of an older series, and my friend got the whole trilogy for me as a gift, and so I really want to read them, but I don't think it's really aged well, so it's been an interesting experience. It's about our main character who sees ghosts, and she kind of gets put in an asylum in the first book, and that's kind of the entire first book. So I want to pick this one up to see where it's going with it now that they finally have escaped. But like I said, it's the longest and the one I'm least excited for, so it is the one I'm going to be saving for last. But hopefully I'm excited and happy enough with the other books I can get through it to read this one. I'm also excited because I have my little ghosty boy and my little ghost stories thing. I don't know. I have ghost decorations, and so it makes me excited for this week. In terms of today, there is kind of a lot going on. So I actually have the car today, which I don't normally have the car on Mondays on my day off because my husband goes to school and he likes to have the car. But I am going to try and go to Half Price Books to sell the books that I unhauled in my unhaul video somewhat recently. And I need to go to the bank, and I need to go to the library to return some of my witchy books that I got from the library. We're getting a new dishwasher today. I don't know when. Our landlord just kind of said that he gets a 20-30 minute heads up right before it's delivered, and then they're going to install it, which is good because we've been out without a dishwasher for almost a week now. Because we've had issues with it and it almost flooded our apartment. So that'll be happening, and this is also the first Monday in a couple weeks where I am not sick. Like, I have been sick for the past 2 weeks, but now I'm feeling much better. I mostly just have my stuffy nose that I get when the season gets colder and I start wearing sweaters, which means I have a lot of cleaning to do. And cleaning generally goes best with audiobooks. I don't have any of these books as audiobooks, which is kind of a bummer. But, I mean, I have audiobooks, so I will listen to them. Like, the audiobook I'm listening to now is for my book club, so it is one that I do have to read soon-ish. So, it's kind of my typical Monday for me. We're gonna have fun. I will talk to you later, hopefully when I have started the seance tea party. The first thing that happens is a montage of our main character's day, and then within the first 20 pages, we are meeting the ghost. Fast. Alright, we'll go for it. Also, her name is Laura, like my name, except she spells it L-O-R-A. Just sat here and read the Seance Tea Party. It's probably the fastest graphic novel I've ever read just because there's so little text. Like, even, it's all speech bubbles and there's just so little of it. Like, so much is imagery, which is really pretty. I like the imagery. I love our main character. I think she's adorable and I would aspire to be like her. But this, I wasn't quite happy with it. It's called Seance Tea Party, but our main character hosts a tea party for like 2 pages, and then it just doesn't happen again till like the end, and even there it's like a page. So Seance Tea Party, I thought it was going to be more of either a tea party or tea parties. Like, it was just so much more to it. And I felt like I was lacking on the thing I was most excited about. I was more excited about spooky themed tea party with a ghost. That just did not happen. She had a thing on her own and then a ghost appeared and then she grew up from being like a 12-year-old to like 13, 15, 16, some teenager. Like, she's grown up. And it had just a lot of emotions and crying, and just figuring out what it would be like to grow up, which was interesting, but I just felt like there could have been more to it and more substance. Graphic novels are just always about that kid that's alone that has a hard time making friends. Maybe that's just the graphic novels I have read, but yeah, I don't know. It was pretty, I liked it, but I just felt like there was something lacking from it. But it was really pretty. It's a great spooky read though, because it is fall, and it, even though it goes through time, it seems like it's always just in like the couple of days around Halloween. So there, at least had that going for it. But yeah, so this was the group book for this week, and I have read it. 75 points to me. It's quite a bit later. It's like 5 o'clock, and I want to read my next book. I should either edit my video or start cleaning. And those are the only 2 things I've yet to do today, I believe. Consult the to-do list, because I thrive off of to-do lists. Clean and read. Unless I want to film TikToks, but I want to be in a different outfit than TikTok. I don't know. I like this outfit, but like, I don't know. The TikToks I want to film, it just doesn't feel right. So I'll probably do those like tomorrow or something. That's my bookish update. If you think this sounds adorable about a girl who has a tea party and makes friends with a ghost and then is scared that she wants to kind of stay a kid and play spooky games while everyone else is growing up, then I would recommend it. If not, then I wouldn't recommend it. Alright, good morning. It is Tuesday morning. I just dropped Brennan off at school. But I started Tunnel of Bones last night by Victoria Schwab, and I sat down to read this just before bed, and I thought, I'm not going to read very much, and I have the audiobook for it, and I opened up the audiobook to read along, and it's only 5 hours, and then I listened to it on 2 times speed, so it's only like 2.5 hours, and I was really shocked and surprised. So I got almost halfway through it last night with a good 45-minute reading session, and I'm hoping to finish it this morning before I go to work. It's good. I like how it's kind of upgraded from the first book. Like, our main character is growing, learning new things, she is trying new strategies and just continuing to figure things out from what she learned in the first book. And then we have our setting of Paris, and I've been to Paris. It's not my kind of place to be. It's just way too big of a city for me. But, they're going to all these different spooky places, and it's so funny because the way she describes it as, you look at Paris and it doesn't feel spooky because it's so bright, and it's got all these people and delicious food and smells and, blah, blah, blah. It's Paris. What do you expect? But it has its spooky moments, like going into the catacombs and, all these other things. So I love that it's taking a place that is quite spooky. It makes sense that Paris would be super haunted, but Paris does a great job of not seeming haunted, and it's just bringing that hauntedness back to it, which is really cool, and I am very much enjoying it. So I'm getting quite invested in it, which is exciting. I am happy and excited to be invested in this. So I'm hoping to finish this today. I also have a copy that my husband left behind that I have now stolen. So that's a bonus. That's the plan. I'm gonna try and finish this now before work. Okay, sorry, the AC popped on, but I gotta go to work, so I just want to do this quickly. I finished Tunnel of Bones, and I'm giving it 4 out of 5 stars. I think I liked it more than the first one. I think that, though, when she holds up a mirror to a ghost and speaks the words to them so that she can help them pass on, the point is that the ghost is supposed to understand, so her speaking in English to a bunch of French-speaking ghosts doesn't make sense. I think she should have translated them to French or figured something else out. There's a bit of disconnect there. But otherwise, I really loved the poltergeist aspect. I love what's going on with Jacob. We're learning so much more. I had a really good cliffhanger for the next one. I really want to get the next one, so we'll see if I can do that. Maybe add that on to this week's TBR if I can get it. Who knows? But yeah, I finished this one. So now that's 2 books done for this week, and I'm excited to move on to the next one, which will probably be The Dead Romantics. Okay. It's Tuesday night, and I'm kind of tired, don't feel like doing much. But I'm ready to start more books. I get this urge to read really strongly, and I've really started thinking about end of year things, but it's a little early. Anyway, so because I finished Tunnel of Bones this morning, I decided to see if I couldn't get Bridge of Souls on audiobook, because that is the 3rd and final book in the Cassidy Blake trilogy by Victoria Schwab, and it's all ghost themed. So I actually did get the audiobook for the 3rd and final book, and because it's less than 6 hours, which for me would be less than 3 hours, I'm going to listen to it. So that's my next audiobook, and that's the last audiobook that I have for Ghost Week. That would be pretty cool to finish that, and then I finished another series, which is great because I was just thinking about how many series I'm in the middle of. I'm trying so hard to finish them and it's not happening. So if I can finish this series, that would be great. And then, I don't know if I said this before or not, but my next physical read is going to be The Dead Romantics. This bookmark just like fell out of it, but that's because it's literally on page 1. I want to get this finished. Like, if I can get through this week and have finished this book and Bridge of Souls, I will be happy. But I do have one other book on my TBR, so I don't think I'm really gonna start this tonight, or if I do, I'll read like 10 pages and then go to bed. Problem is that I'm gonna want to sit here and listen to Bridge of Souls, but I should go to bed. So that's where I'm at. I'm starting to listen to Bridge of Souls and trying to figure out ways to validate staying up to listen to it rather than just going to bed, because I have to work tomorrow. Oh, also, I have not yet edited tomorrow's video. Like I said, I have to work tomorrow morning, so if I don't edit it tonight, it's not gonna go up in the morning, which I could edit it tomorrow after work and have it go up in the afternoon, evening, which wouldn't be the worst thing in the world. But it's also not the longest vlog that I have filmed, so it's kind of ridiculous that I'm not editing it. I'm not motivated to edit it. I'm motivated to read, and I want to read while I'm motivated. So yeah, I might just save it for tomorrow after work. I was just so tired. And my partner is gone. He has a conference up north, so he'll be gone through Friday. So I've got plenty of time now to read, which is great. But we also got our new dishwasher. Oh my word, I feel so scatterbrained, like I'm like, bah. So we got a new dishwasher, so I can also catch up on dishes, which is great as well. Maybe I'll listen to the book and fold the towels, and then I'll go to bed. Good night. But before I do, I just want to say happy National Coming Out Day. I didn't know that it was National Coming Out Day until today, so I didn't get to prep any posts for any social media or anything like that, but I still want to celebrate it and wish it to someone or celebrate it for myself. So, yeah. Okay, now I'm going to bed. Morning. It's Thursday morning, and yesterday I didn't update, but I did read. I read Bridge of Souls, and I really enjoyed it. I think, this trilogy does a really good job of embodying what the style of trilogy that I love. Each book has its own plot, but there is still something very clearly stringing them together, and they just keep getting better and better one after the next. So like this third one, I thought it was even better. The stakes were higher. It was a new element of the spooky world that we were exploring and learning about with our character, and I just got more creeped out. I was so excited to read this. I was so intrigued. So I gave it 4 out of 5 stars. It was a great way to end the series. Still kind of left open a little bit, but I mean, it's also a middle grade, so yeah, I really enjoyed reading it. So, and that was another 25 extra points that I was not expecting. So that was really awesome, and I was very happy with that. Now, Thursday, I will actually finally start the book, The Dead Romantics. I don't actually know where it is. Nope, I know where it is. So I'm actually going to hopefully start that a little bit this morning before I go to work. I won't get very far because I have to run to the library before work. Hello. Finally a scene change, right? So we are in my bedroom. I'm going to be reading in bed. It's Thursday night, and I am 100 pages into The Dead Romantics, and my bookmark is falling out of this book. This is a spooky book, but it reads contemporary. So our main character can see ghosts, and that's the biggest spooky element. And there's a lot happening in this book. So our main character is dealing with a bad breakup from over a year ago, trying to be a ghostwriter for this famous author, and she doesn't believe in love anymore because of said bad breakup. So she is behind on her manuscript. She has a new editor. Her father, just died, page 60. She gets a phone call, he dies. So she's flying back to her hometown where her editor shows up, but as a ghost. So she's trying to get over her breakup, write a manuscript, mourn her dad's death, and figure out / tell her editor, hey, you're dead now, you're a ghost. And he's like, why can you see ghosts? Why is this a thing? I'm not dead. And she's like, So there's just a lot happening. And I get why the breakup is important, because it makes her not believe in romance when she's a romance writer. And the way that the breakup happened is probably going to be significant towards the end of the book. But I think that's my least favorite element happening right now. She also kissed her editor before he died. Just kind of met her once, saw him later on in the day, and just kind of kissed him, and then immediately after got the phone call that her dad died. So whirl of emotions, a lot happening, which wasn't bad, but I don't know, it was just kind of a lot. So I am a little under 1/3 of the way through, and all of this is happening. I am intrigued. I do want to keep reading. I like it. Her dad has these things that he wants to happen at his funeral. He put it in his will. He wants a murder of crows, and he wants Elvis to sing, and he wants 1,000 wildflowers for all these different reasons and whatnot. And so our main character is going to be the one to make all of that happen. But there's just so much going on. So I want to keep reading, but like I said, it's spooky because she talks to ghosts, and now her editor is a ghost, so I think it's going to get spookier. And on top of all that, she has bad relations with her sister, and something happened in the town when she was 13, and so she doesn't like her hometown very much, and she feels out of place. And so then there's this whole drama about not fitting in her hometown. And she solved a murder when she was 13 with the help of a ghost, and so people are like, oh, the weird girl who talks to ghosts. And it's just so much happening. So it is a spooky book, but it reads so much like a contemporary, just because so much of it is focused on grief and heartbreak, but then writing romance books. So I think it's refreshing from all the spooky books. I've been reading so many spooky books, it's nice to have a more contemporary refresher, but I don't know, it's just interesting. So I'm gonna read it a little bit more. I shouldn't read for too long because it's 11 o'clock and I should get to bed, but I just kind of sat down and read the first 100 pages after getting home from work, so I kind of want to feed off of that a little bit more. Theoretically, I would love to stay up late and read more of this book, just because I haven't really had a up late reading night in a while, but that's because I need 8 hours of sleep to function, and I have to work tomorrow. So I shouldn't stay up late, but I want to stay up just a little bit late and let myself sleep in a bit. I am hoping to finish this tomorrow. I don't think I will, just because I won't finish it tonight or tomorrow morning, and my husband comes home tomorrow. Yay! So I'm gonna want to spend some time with him, catching up and whatnot. But he is sick. He has completely lost his voice, so it won't be too much talking. So I think realistically I'll finish this Saturday, but I would like to finish it tomorrow. So it's Friday morning, and Brennan had sent me a video of him walking outside last night back to the hotel, and that it was snowing. And I was like, oh, poor baby, he's up north, he's like 4 hours north of us. It snowed last night, and apparently it was cold enough to stick around for the morning. I'm not ready for fall to be over. I'm not ready for winter. There's a part of me that's like, yeah, do it. And there's another part of me that's like, we haven't even had Halloween yet. Love living in Minnesota. Anyway, so, sweater weather. To the extreme. Here we go. I've also read more of The Dead Romantics. I'm 200 pages in, so I'm a little under 2/3 of the way through. And it's just kind of happening. It's continuing to not resolve anything, but not necessarily pile too much more on. I mean, now she has to write her dad's obituary. I just feel like we're at a stalemate. Nothing is happening. She's not mending her relationships. She's not writing. She's just... And the thing is like she'll do one thing a day, and I'm like, what do you do with the rest of your time? Like, even just have a sentence of like, sat in front of the computer for 4 hours and did nothing, or watched TV, or... But no, it's just like, oh, she wakes up, all of a sudden it's afternoon, she's having a rum and coke, and then it's the next day. So, yeah, it's okay. It's not quite as good as I was hoping it would be, I will say. Well, it's Monday morning. I was very busy yesterday. I did more reading of this, and then I went to my Irish dance class, and then I actually went to a haunted house attraction in Minnesota. It's like one of the top haunted attractions in Minnesota. It was really cool. It was really fun. It was super cold, and I, of course, forgot to bring gloves. What kind of North Midwesterner am I? I forgot gloves to an outside event after it snowed twice already. Yeah, it snowed twice. Anyway, so I didn't want to bring my phone out to film or take pictures or anything like that because it was just so flippin' cold. But I got home and my partner made me hot chocolate, and he turned on the electric blanket and he made me the pumpkin spice hot chocolate, which I just got, which I love so much. And I stayed up late to finish The Dead Romantics. So I did finish this book. It is the 4th book I finished this week, which is kind of insane. This is my most successful week yet of the spooky season Spectacular, and I am now at 525 points. So I finally made it to Ruler of the Underworld, and I still have 2 weeks left to get as many points as possible just for funsies. I totally just like stopped and got dressed and got ready and everything in between clips. But I was talking about The Dead Romantics. 3.5 out of 5 stars. It was a little better than your average good, but not enough to be a 4-star. I think there was just too much going on with our main character and everything happening. It was really hard to focus on certain plot points, and the ending, I feel like it tried to be a twist, but we all knew it was coming because, like, obviously it's a romance novel. So, like, I wish it could have been a little better or just unique. I don't know. But yeah, it just didn't impress me all that much, but I still liked the idea and the concepts, and like the pun banter humor was top notch. Amazing. And I really liked our love interest. I think he was just like any other good love interest, which I don't mind because I like just reading good love interests. There's nothing wrong with that. So yeah, nothing super special for me personally, but that means I read 4 books this week, as I said. So I read The Science Tea Party, the group book. I read Tunnel of Bones, and then I ended up picking up Bridge of Souls, which is the 3rd book in this trilogy, and it's the final book, so I finished a trilogy. How exciting. So 2 of them, and then The Dead Romantics. So that got me 75, 25, 25, and 25. So 150 points this week. Insane. So I'm now part of I'm ruler of the underworld. I choose to use the term Empress, but anyone can choose whatever term they want, or they can stick with ruler of the underworld, but I am Empress of the dead things. So, That being said, it is now the end of the ghost vlog, and there are still 2 weeks left in the spooky season spectacular. It goes all the way up until Halloween. Next week is going to be the haunted house theme, which I'm also very excited for. I've got a couple of books lined up for it, so if you're interested, subscribe so that you can watch all the vlogs as they are coming out. I post on Sundays and Wednesdays. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up. Otherwise, comment down below if you are reading any books for the Spectacular or have any books that align with the themes that you want to read in October for spooky season. I would love to hear about it. I have bookish social media linked down below where you can follow me and get more up to date on what I'm reading and what I'm thinking of it and all the other good things like that. But until I see you all in the next video, I wish you happy spooky reading.